My parents passed away when I was very young, but I live with my uncle. I have three brothers and three sisters. I was a student attending school in Liberia, in Monrovia, and I was also working as a page boy, which meant that I was the one responsible for bringing people's suitcases in. I was working for the biggest hotel in Monrovia. And in my capacity as a page boy, I met a whole lot of people from all over the world. And what I was doing, the 5 or 6 years that I was working for this hotel, I was always asking different guests that came into the hotel, first of all, where they came from, what countries. Some said they came from Germany, some said from France, from usually America. And then I would say, how will a student or how will an African get to go to your country to go to school? So I kept doing that until in 1969 I met Mr. Franco Loris. He was visiting, he was an American, he was visiting Liberia. And I just asked him the question that I've asked maybe 900 other people. And he just said, well, I am an American, I live in Excelsior, Minnesota. And then I said, how will you suggest for an African to come to America to go to school? Then he said, well, all my life I've always wanted to sponsor, somebody maybe from Africa or from any undeveloped country to come to America and go to school. So if you are interested, I'll be happy to sponsor you when I go back to America. 3 months later, he said, I have started the process of sponsoring you, and just start getting ready. Coming to America was a big thing, and when you finally made it to America, a life of success and prosperity and all that was, you were sure, people assumed that that's what, you've made it. And I was not told what the snow was really like, and I have not read about it. I was working for Mr. Laurie in a barn, and then all of a sudden all this whitening was coming down, and I was scared. So I started running to the house. I didn't know. And anyway, it was interesting because I didn't know what snow was like. I didn't know it was going to kill me, or I didn't know what it was. My accent at the time was really, really deep. I still have an accent, but in the first year, it was very difficult for people to really understand what I was saying. But all along, I knew that God had a call on my life to be a pastor, to help others. I got ordained as a pastor. But then 2011, I started my own church called Salvation First Ministries. And we are currently a small church, but we are a growing church. We are a non-denominational church. And we are multi-ethnic, multicultural, and we are multi-generational. Nobody's left out. My contribution, especially right now, is the fact that I am helping to demonstrate that no matter what the problem is in America, ultimately the solution is spiritual. So I'm helping America to return to greatness by remaining attached to the principles that made her great.